And iPad, please, man.
Thank you so much for listening to all of us. Greta, it's your turn.
Yes, so we have noticed there's some media attention, and we thought that it is our moral duty to use that media attention. Luis, who needs to tell their stories. So me and Luisa will not be speaking today. Instead, we will let others
Please
speak.
sit down.
We are privileged, and our stories have been told many times over and over again. And it is not our stories that needs to be told and listened to. It is the others, it is the people, especially from the global south and from indigenous communities who needs to tell their stories. Because the climate emergency is not just something that will impact us in the future. It is not something that will have an impact on children living today when they grow up. It is already affecting countless of people today. People are suffering and dying from it today. So that's why we have created this event to hope that it will be some kind of platform to share the stories that needs to be shared.
Thank you so much, Greta. So for that we invited...
To face it. And our youth has proven to do so. This is why I'm here, to represent them and their ideas, to be a part of the generation that's going to end the fight against climate change, to voice out the reality of the future that the Marshall Islands is facing, to tell you that we don't want to lose our only 2 meters. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Garland. Next, we are very, very happy to be joined by Kisha Ira Muyanya from the Philippines. It's your turn to speak. Thank you so much for being with us.
Good morning, everyone. I am here in front of you for ocean emergency and climate action. I can still remember the calm waves, the ocean in harmony, the colorful corals, the tropical and endemic fishes, the diverse and rich life underwater. But now, the ocean, the heart of the planet, my home, my comfort zone is badly affected by climate emergency. And the comfort zone that I once knew, the playground that I once knew, is not the same anymore. In this time of crisis, I want you to desperately seek for alternatives because solutions will take time and we have to start from somewhere right now. Living in one of the most vulnerable countries to climate change, surrounded by water where 45% of the population depends on marine resources to thrive and survive. As the global center of marine biodiversity, we have a lot to offer, but what happened now? We have massive decline of fisheries catch, inevitable sea level rise, with rising of temperatures badly influencing marine wildlife and blue habitats, saltwater intrusion, massive drought, including drinking water shortages, and food security. Give us the very reason to take heed of all this and from there create a wholesome and real action. Sadly, the most vulnerable nation to risk this climate change according to Global Peace Index of 2019 is none other than my very own country, the Philippines. 47% of the population is in regions highly exposed to climate risk such as floods, tsunami, tropical cyclones, drought, and earthquakes. 971 million people at risk undergoing extreme weather events and peacefulness breakdowns in the impending decades. These environmental concerns can indirectly increase the likelihood of violent conflict through livelihood stability and security, resource availability, and even migration. The Philippines has been making legislative measures in response to climate change, which is a really good foundation. However, real-time, robust, and lasting action is needed. To the global leaders, this is your time to do the right decision. We are talking about life and survival here. This is supposed to be a blue COP. Please walk the talk and make it as blue as possible as you can. Every second is a time for action. And we are here with the young activists all over the world because we are action.
From Moscow, Russia. Thank you so much for joining today.
A year ago, I didn't know anything about climate crisis, and now I'm spending all my time trying to do something. And next Friday will be my 40 week, and 41 week I will have a trial for peaceful protest on October 25. Yeah, most likely I will be arrested for a few days, but it's not important.
The drinking source for over 18 million humans. Here in Mini Shonda, I joined other indigenous youth to prepare for our month-long canoe journey through our stolen ancestral homelands. We paddled to raise awareness of the Line 3 tar sands oil pipeline that threatens to devastate our communities. We dipped our cupped hands in the river, sipping the clean water. This is the same sacred river where my Dakota ancestors have been harvesting our sacred manumin for thousands of years.
Chile woke up. We said enough. We can't sustain a system that sacrifices people and drives the climate crisis for the benefit of a few. As a response to the unrest in Chile, the government declared a state of emergency. And curfews for the first week. But we are fearless. We continue to flood the streets, even if we are risking our lives. We are redefining our future and pushing the limits of what we think is possible. Chile woke up, and the world is waking up too. It's outrageous to arrive at COP in Madrid and see how the Chilean government cleans its image with empty words, while committing human rights violations every day. This must stop now. How can we even think about ambitious action, ambitious climate action, when this government is spreading fear, shooting and blinding the eyes of people protesters? In order to address the climate crisis, human rights must be protected. While countries congratulate each other for their weak commitments, the world is literally burning out. We only have few years to stay below 1.5 degrees of warming. We are clear on what needs to be done. The solutions are simple. We lack the political commitment. Over the last week of negotiations at COP, governments are discussing the wrong thing. Instead of talking about how to transition from fossil fuels, COP25 is focused on finding elaborate ways for rich, industrialized countries to be able to carry on polluting while pretending not to. As we know well in Chile, neoliberalism is a dead cult. As we know from past attempts, the market will not save us from the climate crisis. In fact, the opposite. The conversations that governments should be having are actually about the real current impacts of climate change that communities around the world are facing, like my friends have described now. People are already dying in the climate emergency, and these communities need support. But again, it seems that some lives matter more than others. The rich and powerful seem happy to sacrifice our communities in the pursuit of profit. So here at COP, back in Chile and around the world, people will continue to rise against governments that do not represent us. Our lives are not up for negotiation. Our planet is not for sale.
Speak on the behalf of the children of the ocean. That's our voices. This is real. The crisis is real. We are on the forefront of it. Whatever you're doing on this side of the world, we are 1 meter and 2 meters. We are the second vulnerable to any natural disasters. If the Arctic get melting, we are sinking. The 100,000 years of history of our ocean, we're going to go down. And let me clarify this with Professor Ebelia Woffel, one of our great sociologists. The ocean does not divide us, it's uniting us. Our voice is very simple. We talk on humanity, on kindness and love. For the policy makers, we face the crisis, real crisis. It's not something that you can dreaming about, you cannot see that. I would invite you to come to Tonga, experience the cyclone number 6. It's going to hit Tonga this year or next year. See if you may be able to see the reality of what we have. But that's my kindness invitation for all of you. And I speak on behalf of my son named Aliki Wilson Lucy. He's 12 years old. All of us want the best for our children. We're all one and one of this. And I salute to you, Greta. For what you're doing, is make the world take action on the right way. And may you have our blessings to keep doing what you're doing. Se o tatua o whātu. Mahalo apiti.
Thank you for sharing your message. Do we have time? No more. Okay, no more questions. But good news. There's the possibility to ask the panelists for interviews. We have press people. Could you wave your hands? There's Daniel. The press people from the youth climate movements. There's Daniel. There is Leonie. There is Rika Masaya, and then there is Eric, who will be outside to coordinate any interviews you might have.
So I just want to pray for Hititin in Haven, Hisisbay, Asset Nahinana in Haftin in chat. Hello, my name is Big Win. I'm from the Wind River Reservation in Wyoming in the United States, and I'm going to be praying in my native language for our people, for the climate, for the waters. Nihawa na wahanihi yasehi niwahai hat da wahaniha nuhu hat dana nebasihi hathet na nahisati hita behat de hida abu hawani hanku had just a better deep than just shanihi ho.
Make one last announcement. We invited you to come here to talk about the stories that aren't heard. So please write about them, report about them, that are the people that need to be heard. Greta and me, we've shared our stories. We need to face the stories, the real stories of people struggling every day in a fight they've never started. Thank you so much for taking this seriously and respecting us. Thanks.